Well, how about this for exciting? Hey boss, the network wants to broadcast our product. So yeah, as we've seen, you can get sponsorship contracts for companies willing to pay you to put their logos around the ring. Well, now we can get on television. Rather shocking, actually, that this would be our first TV deal. So let's review the components. Let's do it clockwise, actually. So its term is 1 year, revenue per month, $300,000. 300,000 under the condition that we must not dismiss 2 or more wrestlers. So for the next year is not the time to be cutting staff or cutting back on the workforce. If we were desperate to do that, we'd probably want to wait till this contract is over. So the area is national. So the two key things here are area and revenue. So I've played this game a number of times before. I've never had my first TV deal be national, because that's the highest tier of broadcasting contract. So normally what happens is you'll begin at the local level. That's the first term. There's 3 levels: local, regional, and national. And local can be as low as $1,000 a month. 1,000. This is 300,000. Normally, sometimes you might be stuck with 1, which makes sense, really, because you start small, probably, right? I mean, you probably don't go from being not on TV to all of a sudden you're a huge exposure. Not typically. Presumably, the first goal would be just to get on TV any which way you can, even if it's just like your home city and just people who live down the street will get it on television now. So you start there and hope that bigger networks might notice it, and then maybe you get a better deal. And presumably that would lead to the regional level, which can be something like maybe in the 7 or 8,000 range. I think I've seen as high as 15,000, which is still fractional compared to what we have now. I guess every small amount's a fraction. Forget that. It's small time, even 15,000 at the regional level compared to this national, which is in the hundreds of thousands. Normally this is something you work your way up to, and then some fine magical day you get national exposure. You get like countrywide exposure. So now, mind you, this is not the high end of national. Even it can get considerably higher than this. Stay tuned. Maybe we'll hit the big jackpot contract. But even just 300,000 is still really eye-popping for 1.5 years this promotion's been running. So in this case, 300,000 is still a lot, even if it's not high by national standards. Just to start here is really. We just looked at our most recent revenue. It was well over 600,000. So to add another 300,000, not quite 50% increase, but that's that's a huge increase to our, we're going to be, if we keep up that pace that we had established for revenue, we're going to be nearly $1 million a month for revenue. So monumental improvement to our income here in this promotion. And why would this promotion rocket straight to the big money revenue just out of nowhere? Well, could it be because this promotion is so incredibly well managed? Could be that the quality and the entertainment value of our wrestlers is so high. Perhaps even the DFW controversy put us firmly on the map for cutting edge programming. So whatever the case is, we're not going to question it. We're merely going to say thank you, we accept. Oh, also exciting. One of my scouts found Brett in America. Any idea who Brett might be? Canadian wrestling fans? I'll give you a second, but if you're a Canadian wrestling fan, you probably don't need an entire second. Who is that man? My scouts have been rather successful, actually. They found a second guy. Nathan. He's actually the nefarious Nathan. But I don't think he's on our radar. He's very cool, though. I would definitely use him in an America promotion. Okay. Guys need to get paid. Jin, the Trick Prince. Fresh off of winning the tag team grudge match against the traitor Blue Hair. Good time to ask for money after coming off a win. You just come up and say, hey, clearly I'm a talented, successful man. You should want me here, so make me happy and give me a raise. And his tag team partner, Strongheart, says, me too, me too. And Strongheart has been a crowd pleaser so far. He's sort of flown under the radar a little bit. He's had some matches where he's kind of stolen the show with spectacular moves like pop-up diamond cutters and jackhammer, like Goldberg-style jackhammer. He's very cool. So, absolutely deserves a raise. Your promotion was featured in a America magazine. All sorts of great things happening here. So that is our region. So I hope it boosts our popularity, it says. So it might not officially graduate us from B to A if we check on it, because, you know, it doesn't change every time something good or bad happens. Like the game itself must keep track of where within the different letter grades you are. There's probably some distance you got to travel, some notches you got to get before you officially graduate. So we might not be A just yet, but we'll be one step closer thanks to our magazine content for their promotion in the region of America. Great. Every bit helps. Building toward being even more spectacular as we head toward the Canada Day Spectacular. Next. Well, the month we're about to play. Alright, so why even wait? Let's just get those guys paid, because there's no reason to put it off. The Trick Prince, who was courteously not quite charging us a full $8,000 a month. If you see his salary there, middle right of his profile, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. He might be our second highest paid guy after the Canadian sensation. $8,000. He's been a 6-tag champion, the leader of, and maybe brighter things for him. He's got a B popularity in America. Not bad, not bad. S trust means, of course, we don't need to give him any more than the bare minimum. Still, he's now making $8,700 a month. That's, man, if he would complain about that, then he's a bit of a jerk. There you go. And his chief second of the former 3-man Jin Dynasty. Yeah. A popularity here in America, so even more deserving of praise. So, absolutely Strongheart. More money for you, and he will breach the 7, again, S trust, so minimum raise. He'll graduate into the $7,000 a month range that his fearless leader of Jin Dynasty had been in, so. Cool. Deserved. All right. So, to be thorough while we're here, we go to management, produce merchandise. So, yeah, checking in on the goods here. It's We're 2 months in on those sales, but remember we started with 5,000. So we're averaging roughly what I was saying, roughly in the, I think it was about 1,700 some odd the first time. Probably a little less because of product age. In that one column it says product age 2, so the revenue would be probably take another slight decrease because it's not exactly fresh new merchandise anymore, but we should still sell out the 1494 in the third term. So. And for you baronial faithful, let's check the title belts, view title belts. Baron Childs is now the 9th Canada heavyweight champion. So as you can see, if you look along the right side here, the history of this title, it's hard to hold on to, eh? If I might get all Canadian on you with the A. You notice here the second reign, Big Titan with his two title defenses after winning it. That's the only reign we've had where we've had more than one title defense. Everyone's either had one or they've immediately coughed the title back up. So yeah, difficult title to keep. Always hotly contested. No true dominant force has emerged to own heavy single. Contrast that to the tag team, Canada's Tag Team Championship, where we were still on our first page worth of champions. And as you can see, terrible team. I think the bear needs something new to feast upon. Get him some honey-covered salmon or something. Because 7 title defenses is, that's dominant. They've held the title for more than half a year, so that's a good term. Who can dethrone them? And it's not like they've never lost, so absolutely tune into their matches. They've lost twice, but that's more the exception than the norm, is it not? And they will be defending their titles in a unique way this time because it'll be the tournament, so they're going to have to run the gauntlet the same way that Big Titan did last year to hold on to his singles. Team Terrible hold on to their tag. They're going to have to win 3 times in one event. I'm pretty confident they can, but let's see what happens. Canada Day Spectacular, 2nd edition. So welcome to the July show. And as you can see, the tournament matchups have been set for Canada's Tag Team Championship. So let's go through the matchups. So as we go, we're going to find that there's several guys who would normally be out, would normally sit out due to rest needs or possible injury risks. But because I want all the teams that I want, all the appropriate teams to be in this special event, we're going to take a bit of risk putting guys in that normally I wouldn't. So hopefully our medical facilities that we've paid for and our Monster Gains sponsor that's supposed to reduce injury, hopefully these measures we've already taken will offset the risk of people getting hurt, at least for any serious length of time. So, Terrible at the top. I think last year we had the champions go on last, but Terrible at the top. There's that alliteration thing there, which I like. And besides, why not just be menacing right off the start? Just first thing you see to kick off the event is the consummate badass duo coming down to the ring to defend what has been largely their titles. Seems like when they've been without the title, it hasn't been for long. So, who are they up against? Their opening match, first round match, will be against Team MMA Japan, whom I'm not convinced that they should last only 6 minutes and change like they did the previous event. I feel like this could be a better match than we saw last time, so I'm gonna do the rematch on this. And then the other match in the top half of the tournament will feature newly crowned Canada's heavyweight champion, the Baron Charles, who I'm sure by popular demand, I use that in quotations, getting back together with his old Pearl Harbor teammate, the $50,000 man, wise man Ted Axel. And they will be facing, first time as a team, the Owens team. This is perhaps a few months in the making now. There's been talk of these two being related / cousins, and now that Eddie Owens is officially a member of the roster now, what better time to have these guys have their first team up as they compete for Canada's Tag Team Championship. So, as we've seen all the competitors for this match, we know that both Ted Axel and Eddie Owens are in this match. Ted Axel, Eddie Owens. They had previously formed Team Black and Blue America. Remember that? Which they picked up a victory. So they worked well as a team, apparently. But now they're on opposing teams, facing each other in the first round. Now, if you notice, you might have caught a glimpse of it. We'll go back to the Owens team. Both these guys are red. Now, if you see on the right side of the profile, the condition, they both have good condition, the Owens team. But they have red body parts, as you see both the neck and the torso for Kevin Owens. So we're taking a bit of a chance here with this guy, especially with the D-Trust. If he's going to miss a couple events from injury, yeah, let's not think about that. And there you go, Mr. Stoic also. He's also good condition, but he's got a red neck as well. He's a redneck. Maybe he's from the deep south. I don't know. Sorry if that's offensive. I couldn't resist. Okay, so I figure I still want to do this match though, because not only am I eager to get these two together as a team as soon as possible, but with Eddie fresh off of donating his title, the DFW Tag Team Championship, seems only fair that he shouldn't have to wait to get in there and compete for the big tag on the big stage. So, okay, so that's the top half of the tournament. What's the bottom half? Team Sharpshooter, again, they will rematch the two remaining members of Jin Dynasty, which is a rematch. So if you recall, these two teams faced each other in the previous events. We have another rematch here. And Jin Kiritani, leader of the Trick Prince, leader of Jin Dynasty, he got a measure of revenge by vanquishing Blue Hair, who had defected away from Jin Dynasty. So, with this rematch right here in the tournament, Blue Hair will get his opportunity for his own type of revenge if he can win the rematch here in the tournament. So the fourth and final match will be another type of rematch. It's not a true rematch, but we have a tag team rivalry that continues between Wolf Hockfield and Big Titan. So you remember they fought in singles action and then found tag team partners. Now they're going to go again, this time in the tournament. Only Big Titan now has a new partner. So we saw it's Wolf, the old Wolf and Kenny, Team Canada Blue. They've been tag team champions. If they can win 3 matches in one night, they can be a now 2-time tag team champion. And Big Titan has a new partner. If you can tell, I'm a bit excited here. Finally, Team Big, which I believe I hinted at, enunciation, at the very beginning of this promotion, that these two guys could someday form a team, the Big Team, and they have, especially if Big Titan wears his alternate red face paint and all. They look pretty cool together, black and red. They have battled each other many times, usually over the heavyweight championship of Canada. This time, they're joining forces. Could this be what it takes for someone to overthrow Team Terrible? And I mean not just beat them, but could anyone lay any kind of significant claim to this title and hold it? Maybe this is the team. And should they get all the way, it would be in the final. If that's kind of the dream matchup here. Team Terrible against the Big Team in the finals. They're at opposite ends. They win all the way. They'll face each other for the gold once and for all in the end. So that's the third guy, though, unfortunately, that I'm putting in that normally I wouldn't. Because if you notice, Big Titan doesn't have any red body parts, as you see in the middle, but on the right, condition poor. So again, I'm asking for trouble here by putting someone in with the last stage of, bad shape. So Big Titan's poor. But I figure, still, having lost his title in last year's tournament, remember, he lost the heavyweight championship of Canada in the final. Went all the way to the final, finally lost to the man he's facing against in this match, Wolf Hockfield. So I figured Big Titan, chance for redemption here. If he could win a title in the second tournament. And it would be extra special if he could achieve that, since his condition is poor, and if he could win this title over 3 matches in that condition, it would seem pretty special, wouldn't it? So, cool, that's the matches. Let's examine the venue. Now, if you see in the top right, audience forecast is not ideal. We're a little over 13,500 out of 15,000. Now, just the way the numbers crunch out, this is the closest I can get to what I consider reasonable. Every other configuration of venue, price, advertising, it'll go wildly over capacity. And if you've been watching the series, you know I don't like to do that. I'd rather come a little bit under and say, well, they wouldn't all sell out. Let's be realistic. I don't mind. I don't have to squeeze every red cent out of this game. I don't mind a little realism along the way. I mean, the goal is to be the #1 promotion. You need lots of money to do that, but I still want to feel like it. There's some sense of realism as we go along. So we're at urban medium now. We were rural before, but this event is just too massive to be contained in the 10,000 venue. So we've graduated to 15,000 venue. And yeah, so a little under capacity, but let's just explain that as in we're not, the promotion's not used to running consistently in 15,000 venues. So maybe we wouldn't necessarily get all that. We're used to 10,000. So just to get close to 15,000 seems okay. So what I like about it is this, if you've been paying attention here and there, I've mentioned a certain fascination / obsession with numbers. So if you know, this is July, which is the 7th month, right? January, February, March, April, May, June, July 7th. And this is 13 some odd thousand attendance. So 13 and 7, those are two numbers that relate to luck or bad luck in the case of 13, depending on your culture. Apparently it's good luck in some cultures. So that's fun for me to use those numbers. And even with not ramming the place to capacity, we're still projecting over $1 million in revenue. If you do your math on 80 ticket price, if you multiply it by both 10,000 and then 3 some odd thousand, we're looking at over $1 million in revenue. So that'll be, I believe that's record setting, because I don't mind mentioning when we set records. We should go over $1 million just from revenue, just from the live gate, like the event in-person money, and then that doesn't even count the merchandise sales. So I think we're good then. But before we run the actual matches, let's revisit the after of the previous event. Confirm. Yeah. So, a couple of cool things. Aha, yes. So just in time for Canada Day. Might have remembered it from our scouting results. Just in time for Canada Day, we've made contact with Canadian wrestling legend Bret the Hitman Hart. More than once, World Heavyweight Champion. World. This time I'm not using it by mistake. He's been the world champion. So, perhaps owing to our newly gained national TV deal, we've gained the attention of the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe he would like one more shot at the spotlight and someday join the Canada Wrestling Promotion. Time will tell. Also, take a quick glance at him for fun. All right, so toward the top middle, date of birth DOB 61. So even if we sign him, we might not have him for long. Might retire on us. Finishing move, Heart Attack, which I believe was the tag team clothesline move he did with Jim the Anvil Neidhart. So Sharpshooter's more down the list there. But probably shouldn't dwell too much on this profile right now because he's, as you can see from the top right of the screen, free agent. So he's not currently signed to us. But when we do get him, it will be very reasonable salary of just over $2,500 a month. He fights our strong style, popularity A. So definitely worth getting at some point, even if just for the novelty. So one more thing. We'll get to the matches, I promise. Stable changes. Well, actually, this is two things. It's a two-parter. Okay. So Eddie Owens, he didn't logically fit into any of our existing stables. If you go by the list there, we had Canada stables. He's not Canadian. Pearl Harbor. He would just be a third wheel there. He's not Japanese. He's not satanic. He's not a junior. So didn't really fit anywhere. So I decided to bisect. Well, I don't know if bisect means exactly evenly, but I've broken into the Canada promotion, the Canada stable, because it had gotten large. It was already 8 people. So, and plus Canada as a stable name was a duplication of the promotion name anyway. So perhaps change was due anyway. So I've divided the Canada promotion into Canada Red and Canada Black. The Canada Red's only got a few people. There's only 3 of us whose default uniform consists of red in it. So Wolf Hockfield and the Canadian Sensation are 2 members of the 3-man tag championship, 3-man tag champs. So why not be in the same stable? So we've thrown Eddie in with Canada Black because he's closely tied to Kevin Owens. KO Kevin, just keep fighting. So they might as well be in the same stable in Canada Black. So also includes Big Titan, Kenny Omega, and Team Terrible. So interestingly enough, so just now that I'm just barely forming Team Big with Big Mike and Big Titan, they begin leadership of separate Canadian stables. Interesting. So one final note. This promises the last thing. I don't think we really checked this. You can actually check the popularity by stable. Because you notice they give individual popularities for wrestlers. You can see the promotion popularity. In our case, B. Near the top there. America B. You can also, as long as you're in this promotion data screen, if you go to the top left, stable data, you can examine the statistics by stable. So they've screwed up the columns there. Alignment and popularity should be switched. Alignment would be neutral, face, heel. So again, the Canada stables are face, everyone else is heel because they're non-Canadian. They even give you a quick look at the number of guys in each group. So what's interesting is if you go down the popularity column where they have all the letters there, so we're still looking at the leftmost because it's America, the America region, which Canada is part of the Americas. That's our region. You notice Canada Red has got A popularity. Every other faction, every other stable's got B. So the most popular group right now is Canada Red, featuring 3-time heavyweight champion Big Mike and Triple Crown winner Wolf Hockfield. So, all right, that better be everything because talked for a while. Pretty sure we're ready to get this going. So expenses are just under 200,000, 197. And our profits are our revenues is projected over $1 million, so expect to profit quite handily. July for your Canada Day Spectacular Edition 2 tournament for Canada's Tag Team Championship. Round 1, Match 1. And the champs are coming right out. First team brought down the aisle, Team Terrible. Nothing short of dominant in the tag team division. But on this event, they'll have to win 3 times in one night. Canada's tag team champions. And the challengers, I'm going to give the challengers every boost of luck that I can think of, because I'm still wearing my red hat. If you notice, Ken has red hair, red at the top. Even the Black Dragon God has got a sort of slick of red at the very top there. So I'm giving you guys every chance I can to try to pull this upset, and it'll be a massive one, especially coming off losing in about 6 minutes. So Ken plays to his strength to start with. He tries that spinning heel kick, caught in the air though, and the bear, the gore takedown. It was at the neck crank, takedown again into that guillotine, that lay down guillotine choke that's been so devastating for this first year and a half of this promotion. He's working it again. Well, the bear is all business. He's the business bear. And now he's getting the hell kicked out of him. See that? Both members of Team MMA Japan laying the boots to the bear in the corner there. I keep saying this because I emphasize it especially against Team Terrible. People that face them, they simply have to utilize double team techniques as much as possible. What other chance would you have against a damn bear? So there was some sort of a heel trip takedown by Black Dragon God, but then he gets headlock hip tossed. So the bear is not about to be snap bear. Terrible Ted's not about to be out wrestled, out powered, out anything. We saw our first submission attempt laid in by Team Japan. 3 minutes, and the bear hasn't even bothered to tag out. He's like, I can whip both these boys' butts by myself. As I say that, he tags in Jason the Terrible, who eats the shot takedown with an counter shot. See that the bear got out of the way, and Jason ate the shot. But then as they got to in any case, the bear broke it up. 4 very intriguing minutes so far. I'm optimistic we'll last at least 6, right? More than 6, Japan. Trading shots. The Black Dragon God wisely kicking in the midsection there where there was no armor. Reference again to the hockey mask. Ken's in there again, but he eats a body slam. Death blow, Ken. 5 minutes gone. Belly to belly. Overhead suplex. But Jason is back in control. Double axe handle. Ken is dazed, but he recovers enough to get the heck out of there. Get out of dodge for eating that shoulder. Counter kick to the midsection. Straight up punch in reply. Leg trip into the mount, but reversed. Countered with the front face lock. Another variation of the guillotine. All 4 men, 3 men and a bear. All 4 mammals in the ring there briefly. And the football charge. So Ted, the wrestling bear, is something else. Not only has he been dominant in this match pretty much so far, though he's eating punches to the face, but he's been good at, he saved his tag partner more than once from some awkward situations. It's part of teamwork, is saving your partner. Doesn't need saving, though, there on the arm bar. I'm sure Jason the Terrible's quite confident. My bear can withstand that. And then there's heel trips into the neck crank. 7.5 minutes. So as I said, Team MMA Japan is better than a 6.5 minute joke match like we had last event. Of course, last event was all kinds of weird, as you remember. If you haven't seen last event, check it. It's strange. Especially within the context of previous events. Just Plenty of weird. Anyway. Reversal there, counter. Right, Black Dragon God, now some teamwork. Double vertical suplex out of the ring. Both Japanese men catching their breath there. As we hit 9 minutes, might as well pace yourself, because if this team, Team Terribles, to be defeated, it's going to take a Herculean effort by anyone to dethrone the champs. And that's the weird part about having the first match with the champs. If Team Japan can somehow pull this off, we would know right after the first match that we're going to have new champions one way or another. But as we see that jawbreaker applied by Jason, it is probably easier said than done. Son of one was that Ken with the belly-to-belly suplex, I think? Yeah. Working those knees to the face, but they're protected by the mask. 11 minutes. I normally don't harp on the time this much. You see another vertical suplex out of the ring. This is what Team Japan has to do. We've seen them work together as a team at least 3 times. Saw that flurry of kicks. We've seen more than one double vertical suplex out of the ring. We see the bear gore into the guillotine choke. 12 minutes. I know I'm harping on the time, but I'm just so pleased that we're not seeing another insanely early finish. I want some meat on the bone this time. I'm sure the bear does. The bear wants a worthwhile feast. Let's get some meat on the bone for this match. Is that our first 2 count? So from the underside, we see an armbar. Bear hug. In the ropes, though, we get a break. Low kick. Counter kick. Look at some of those Muay Thai techniques. Clinch the knee, clinch the knee. The bear's got some. Well, the bear got the takedown, but it was reversed by Black Dragon God into the armbar again. Could that be what it takes? A surprise submission? Because sometimes that determines a match. It's not just simply beating your opponent senseless. It's out of the blue. Anyway, all 4 briefly in the ring. Another double vertical suplex. Again, what we need to see out of Team Japan. Jumping, hockey mask, headbutt. Speaking of heads, one way or another, this hat's coming off because it's irritating my forehead. Not a hat guy. Plus, I think Ken our only redhead, at least in the tournament. I'm trying to think who else might have red. Will Stewart has a red hat. But the DFW Tag Team Champions are taking Canada Day to celebrate. And no celebration in Japan. At least not yet. And not for this team. The neck crank. We went over 15.5, so I'm happy. We saw a lot of good double team. The Canadian fans go wild. Just the kind of opening match Canadian fans wanted to see. The Canadian team holds, wins at an 85%, so much better on the rematch. Duration much better, match evaluation much better. MMA Japan looked much better, lots of teamwork mixed in, so heck, I wouldn't mind even seeing this again at some point. Much better performance. But they were always going to be trudging uphill to try to overcome this team. And I think overall I'm pleased. I think preferred would be the champs reach the final of their own tournament, right? The champs, they should be able to reach the final at the least. Reaching the final is better than knocked out first match. So we'll see if they can get to the final and make for a very compelling championship match, but they'll have someone else to face before that, and we'll get to the match that will determine their opponents next. But for now, the champs are through to the semi-final. Match 2. Who shall face the champs in the semi-final? Deep down, does either team even want to win? Because the prize is something terrible. So the former heavyweight champ precedes the current. And can the Baron become a 2-belt champion? If you guys will get that opportunity, there's a few champions in this. Members of the 6 tag champions as well in this tournament. First time together, the Owens team. Mr. Stoic, followed by KO. A type of Can-Am connection, if you will. If you remember the Can-Am connection from old school wrestling, leave it in the comments. So two bigs to start things out here. Baron Charles tries to heft the big man up for some sort of power move, but it was countered by the backdrop. Baron Charles wins the test of strength. Body slam. The Baron asserting some physical dominance early over a rather large opponent. He is heavyweight champion for a reason. We're now into the Pearl Harbor corner. Test of strength. Well, Kevin Owens wins the rematch on the test of strength. He's also rather big. Boots his way out of there. Oof, some sort of fingertip uppercut chop. I'm not sure what to call it. I want to say knife edge, but that's more the side of the hand. Anyway, Owens team double teaming there with the assisted powerbomb. Elbow strike landed by the Baron. Arm twist working the shoulder. Arm drag takedown by Mr. Stoic, rather old school. And then a step over toe hold. Vertical suplex. And we'll get our first look at the Wise Man with a $50,000 body slam out of the ring. Team Pearl Harbor stands in solidarity in the center of the ring, awaiting the return of formerly DFW's Eddie Owens, who wins that exchange of strikes and gets the heck out of there. Tags in his bigger cousin. Body slam. Boot to the back. Boot in reply there. Body slam. Stomp to the face. Kevin Owens looking to mess up those pretty boy good looks of the Wise Man. European uppercut by the man with the England stretch. Knee drop to the leg. Elbow to the back of the head. Stomp. Rather vicious, violent affair so far. Why not? This is Team Black versus Team Blue. Might as well make it a real black and blue encounter. Backbreaker submission attempt. Ted Axel was near the corner, opted against the tag. Goes instead for the Dragon Screw leg whip. Maybe it was just a feint. Fake tag. Now that he's got his man softened up, brings in the Baron. Both Owens in the ring now too. We have four-man action. Arm twist work on the shoulder. The bigger men also lock up. It looks like Eddie saved Kevin. Only to get airplane spun. Wild affair so far. Running. Forearm smash to the face. Follows it up again. Backbreaker. Step over toe hold. Vertical suplex out of the ring. Mr. Stoic is on fire right now. In pursuit. Looking to prove that he deserves to be here. The Baron demonstrates some agility. And some strength. And some cheating deception tactics. There's a lot going on out there. Meanwhile, we have a 14 count. Backbreaker. Is the Baron going to get back in this ring in time? Oh my god, by the narrowest, by the narrowest. We almost had the Owens team moving on. Death Valley slam. Almost had a count out result there. Double team vertical suplex. Arm twist. Nine minutes into a rather spirited affair. Black versus blue. Knee drop back of the skull. Taking turns attacking the back of the head. Vertical suplex out of the ring.
1, 2.
Kevin Owens takes a breather rather than pursue.
10 minutes gone.
Shoulder blocks in the corner. Arm drag takedown toward the center of the ring. And our strong management logo. Working a series of kicks here. There's Mr. Stoic again with the booting. Boot to the back. Ted Axel comes out of the ropes trying to dropkick. He should probably think about tagging. He's not been going his way. Another boot to the back. Change the complexion of this to Team Pearl Harbor. It's been going the Owens way. There we had an assisted power bomb. Ted Axel tried for the top rope. Didn't work because Baron Charles was too busy doing a headbutt down low. A lot of crazy action can be a little hard to follow. Tilt the world, backbreaker. And Team Pearl Harbor needs to get more of this going, this double team assisted powerbomb. Drop kick into the regal stretch. Good combination wrestling there, team up wrestling. One man set the other one up for a submission attempt. Would have been a great finish. Would have been a premature finish though. We're only at 13. The wise man going back to that England stretch, as he calls it. Eats another one of those boots to the back. Sleeper hold applied. Neck breaker. Mr. Stoic's gonna fly. Flying fist, but it missed. Maybe because Kevin went to apply the chin lock. Maybe that's the reason the top rope missed. There's been some misadventures from the top rope so far. Dragon screw leg whip. Drop kick down low. Attack the foundation. Sidewalk backbreaker. 15 minutes. Flying back splash from the top rope. Rolling splash. Is this our first actual pin attempt? Wise man's out at 2. Tries for a cover of his own. Just one, however. So that suggests advantage Owens so far. Small package attempted, but not even the legal combination of men, so. Double arm suplex flips him into the Pearl Harbor corner. Ugh, another mishap from the top rope. That's been a theme here. Well, he countered that kick with an elbow. Airplane spin. As we approach 17 minutes, very late save by KO. Assisted powerbomb. Appeals to the Canadian crowd while his cousin eats an eye rake at the hands of the Baron, employing some underhanded techniques. Body slam, blue corner by Baron. Oh, and now he's going for some pants down antics. He's trying to make his man uncomfortable, make him not want to be here. Stampede power slam. Oh, and more insult added. Sits on the man's face. Baron's a little tired out from all that weird work he was up to. All four men in the ring now. Crazy action, hard to follow. Backbreaker. Another stampede power slam. Kevin Owens pulling up his pants. He's having trouble keeping his pants up. Running DDT, okay. Ted Axel stands right back up. Oof, boy. I'm not even sure what you call that. I could try to describe it, or I could just move on.
20 minutes.
There's a
gone.
$50,000 suplex. Back to that. Maybe call it the KO slam for now, because I have no other particular. 2 count anyway. All 4 men in the ring. More crazy action. Axel death drop. KO goes low, and they both appeal to the Canadian crowd. This Ottawa crowd. You recall that's what it was last year too. Coming to you from the nation's capital in Canada. Some sort of Boston crab variation. An exchange of strikes. Ted Axel saying it's over before he clotheslines this guy flat down. Backbreaker. Frankensteiner into a pin combination, but $50,000 save. Half Nelson suplex into a. That was the crossface chicken wing standing edition. We've seen it kneeling down. That was a stand-up version. So yeah, pretty wild affair start to finish. 98%. All right. Very good match evaluation. And we will see Baron Charles and the $50,000 man face the reigning champs in the semifinal. It's been a while since that matchup has occurred. And I think Team Pearl Harbor has a lot more to hang their hats on since last time they faced Team Terrible. Each of these guys have either been or are currently heavyweight champions. So that should be a match to look forward to in the semifinal. it'll be Pearl Harbor versus Terrible. Average match evaluation over 90%. I will gladly take that. As we head into match 3, as we build toward a second semifinal. And we begin with Team Sharpshooter. Blue hair, followed by the Canadian Sensation. As they rematch Jin Dynasty with a berth in the semifinal on the line. Strongheart, followed by the Trick Prince. Jin Dynasty won the first matchup between these two. Blue hair in particular, looking for revenge after being punished for leaving Jin Dynasty. And of course, the Canadian Sensation would absolutely want to hoist more Canadian gold. Some back and forth striking to get this started. Trick Prince seems to want to go to those knees to the face, the Muay Thai clinch. Here's again. He's working a lot of striking early. The Sensation reverses into the turnbuckle. Sensational brainbuster. I was all set to say suplex, but he did drop him down on the back of his neck, so it's brainbuster. As much as I like that alliteration, I almost called it suplex anyway, but I knew that was wrong. I was about to say, are we due for a tag here? 2 solid minutes of the leaders of these teams going at it before we see blue hair. Who rescues the Sensation with a boot. Now a leg lock. Might as well just call it a wear down. Why even call it a submission attempt when a submission is very unlikely? At 3 minutes. Blue hair trying to fight 2 guys at once, it's difficult. Well, he eventually wins out, but it was rough going there, eating shots from, eating blows from 2 sides. Another brain buster. So we've seen both members of Sharpshooter inflict brain busters on different members of Jin Dynasty. Test of strength followed by elbow. Snap mare, a strong mare, if you will. Discus clothesline attempted by blue hair misses. He'll settle for a snap mare, however. Snap mare into sleeper. As we see the Sensation a second time.
5 minutes gone.
Armbar. So it's twice now that Strongheart has decided to try to apply submission holds to the non-legal man, only to have, well, maybe it wasn't non-legal both times, but while trying, the point is trying a submission on one partner while the other partner comes in and kicks him away. Anyway. The Trick Prince goes for the green mist. Had that trick up his sleeve. Abdominal stretch. Sensational stretch. Flying knee eats only air. Looked like the Sensation was thinking of tagging off, but they thought, no, we can hang a little longer. Hang and bang a while. Now he'll tag off. Blue body slam. Falling fist. Back cracker. Bulldog. Blue Hair is putting moves in combination against his former leader. He managed to flip out of the vertical suplex attempt. Falling fist again. Blue Hair getting a lot done against the Trick Prince. Dragon screw leg whip. Definitely making a point. You don't own me. I'm a free man. Reference, of course, again to him departing the Jin Dynasty, which I'm sure the Trick Prince was none too pleased with. I guess it's for life. Like it's supposed to be. Like the NWO. Wow. Rotating DDT from the turnbuckle into a Death Valley driver. Well, now Strongheart's taking control of things on behalf of Jin Dynasty. Strong sleeper. Blue Hair realizes when things aren't going his way. It's tagged out. Oof. Rick Rude style neck breaker. Back suplex followed by a knee drop to the abdomen. Fire, jumping, powerbomb. Blue Hair is not taking any chances, comes in and literally kicks Strongheart's ass. Boot to the butt. Then do some wear down in the legs while the Sensation recovers. Waits his turn. The Trick Prince is back. Has returned. Is back and has returned. Strongheart stretch. Tilt, whirl, backbreaker. Headbutt. With the possibly loaded mask, we don't know. Body slam on the Trick Prince, who is now out of the ring. Over into the sharpshooter corner, though. From corner to corner. Wow. Some sort of uppercut followed by a turnbuckle slam. Fire jumping powerbomb again. Blue Hair's not waiting around. Falling fist. And as long as Blue Hair still had a few seconds before he had to legally exit to avoid disqualification, why not kick your opponent one last time in parting? Sensational shoot takedown there. Running headlock bulldog into the blue corner. Wow. Backflip dropkick. Dropkick down low. And we've passed 15 minutes. Snap suplex. as a boot for the Trick Prince. Blue Hair quite content to take on both members of Jin Dynasty, Brainbuster. And then tries a figure 4 leg lock. Strongheart save. Wear him down with a rear choke. While the Trick Prince regathers himself. Ooh, now you're going to see a Phoenix Plex. Into the ropes for the break. It would have been broken up by a Strongheart anyway. So Blue Hair's not focusing on who he's supposed to be focusing on. Oh, but then there's a reverse, a counter. Right, reverse is only for when you're doing the opposite move, like the move that the person's trying to do to you. Counter is when you just break out of a move into your own move. Remind myself of that. And there was the assisted Diamond Cutter, flying backflip moonsault. But it was not a pinning combination. It was not the legal combination. Frankensteiner, but we're in the ropes there, breaking up that pin attempt again too. Guys got to get things toward the middle of the ring. What was that? Sensational suplex. Was it a snap suplex? I could do 3 S's. Sensational snap suplex. Anyway, assisted Diamond Cutter, falling fist. Another submission attempt. Sensation seems pretty confident Blue Hair is okay. Don't know why you take chances at this point. We're 19 minutes in. See no shortage of submission attempts here. Trick Prince brazenly mounting the sharpshooter corner. Does not fly, however. The Sensation is calling for the end. And he won't really do anything, as it turns out. Release German suplex, only eat a boot to the face. Unable to follow up. There's Blue Hair. Kick out at 2, not requiring the save. And now all 4 men in the ring. We have a Brainbuster and a Jackhammer. Wild 4-man action right now. Dragon Screw Leg Whip. Oh. Some sort of bicycle kick? Jackhammer into the pinning combination, but the Sensation is there to break it up. And he's going to fly, perhaps. Oh, but maybe too much confusion. Sensation just falls face first. Too many guys in there. Hard to figure out who's doing what. Oh, gonna see a Phoenix Plex again. But normally that would be a pin, not this time because it's not legal. Not the legal combination. I've had to say that quite a few times. Seems like people are frequently trying to do, oh, well, that was a sensational superfly in any case. But the Trick Prince has got some high flying of his own. Coup de grace onto the buttocks. Top rope stomp. Moonsault. Hooks his man. Oh, but only 2. Sensation escapes. Phoenix Plex across the strong management logo. Sensation with the flying clothesline on the Trick Prince. Eye rake. Might have been partially protected by the mask. Tombstone. Pile driver. Trick Prince desperately trying to discombobulate his opponent. The eye rake. Nut shot. That'll get you off your game just as quickly, but in a different way. German suplex into a pin. And that's good enough. And the vertical suplex for good measure. Just lining the Jin corpses up side by side. Canada stands strong here in this tag. Little bit of after the bell there. 99% as the Canadian crowd goes wild for their Canadian sensation who will be in the semi-final as he was a year ago for the singles. Can he have better luck in year 2? 99%. So we're just whipping ass in terms of just high quality matches so far. 85 was our lowest. We've had a couple in the 90s, and we're spanning the globe essentially with this match and its result. We've got the Canadian sensation. We've got 3 members of the Japanese region. Unofficially, I've considered Jin to be Chinese. And so we got Canada, Japan, and in the middle, Germany, as we just saw the German suplex as the finish. So this may be the Canada wrestling promotion, but it's feeling rather international right now. And Team Sharpshooter will be in the semifinal. Who will they face? Rather incredible. Average match evaluation 94 as we approach match 4. Final first round contest featuring the rivalry of Wolf Hockfield and Big Titan. This is the 3rd event running in a row in which these 2 impressive Canadian specimens are facing each other. You might recall they faced each other in last year's final when Wolf became heavyweight champion. We get our first look at the first ever team up. Big Mike, Big Titan, forming Team Big. Big Titan in his alternate red. The initial lockup sees a reverse on the Irish whip into the blue corner. Vertical suplex out of the ring. Off to a flying start. Big Titan goes out into pursuit, but Wolf gets back in the ring. Clubbing blow to the head. Was that a double axe handle? Now we're into the big corner. Only briefly, though. For the big side of the ring. Working those chops. Pretty early tag. Body slam stays in the ring. Wow, Titan's throwing around both members of Team Canada Blue. And there's an out of the ring. Titan just dominant here. Overpowers Omega with a test of strength. Clubs him down. Elbow smash to the back of the head. Wow. Big Titan is just dominating this early 2 minutes. Handling both members. Omega tries to change the momentum there with an eye rake. Good idea. Body slam. Drop kick. Back of the head. Big Titan seems to be on an early mission here to redeem himself from last year's tournament. Body slam out of the ring. Big Titan is just throwing these guys around. Tags off to Big Mike, who seemed content to pursue outside the ring, but Omega had already climbed back in. Another body slam. I'm almost surprised Big Titan wants to leave this match. Why leave the ring when you're just kicking so much ass? Apologies for the technical difficulties. Only the first part of the match is showable. But I do like the result, so it will stand. I'm not going to re-record. And it sets up a very intriguing semifinal. Because if you recall from year 1, the singles tournament, The dream final was perhaps the debuting Canadian sensation facing then champion Big Titan in the final. We didn't get that final, but we can get that semifinal this year in the tag team tournament. And there might not be quite as much prestige at stake as there would have been last year, meeting in the final for the heavyweight title, but they will battle for the right to progress to the final for the tag team titles. So nothing wrong with that. Pretty cool. And we'll find out shortly who they will face. Okay, first semifinal for the rights to fight for Canada's heavyweight tag team championship. So the champs, so far so good. They won their first round match. And they still have 2 more to go. They are going to hold on to these Canadian Tag Team Championship belts. Team Terrible, Animal Handler, Jason, and the Wrestling Bear, Ted. And they'll be wrestling, the champs will, 2 men who've been or are currently heavyweight champion. Didn't have a lot of success as a tag, these two. They've tried their paws at Terrible Ted before, unsuccessfully, but what a time to finally make good. Headlock, hip toss, takeover, Terrible Ted begins the offense, but he eats a big Baron boot. You're heavyweight champion of Canada, the people's champ, Baron Charles. Can he become a 2-belt champion? He wins the test of strength against Terrible Ted, which he's done before. He's a strong man, the reason he's your champion. And he's holding his own quite well against the Bear in this early going. Bear hug. Terrible hug. Takedown. Sit down, roll over again. Look at the mat expertise by the Wrestling Bear. It would take some doing to teach a bear how to do all that amateur style Greco-Roman type wrestling. Anyway, meanwhile, there's a match going on. Strikes being landed by the Baron, but the Bear floors him with a forearm. And we're tagging out all 4 competitors in the ring. I almost said all 4 men, but again, they're not all men. Some wild action as all participants get involved, and we now devolve back to one-on-one action. Eye rake. Terrible eye rake, but then a $50,000 bulldog as former heavyweight champion Ted Axel eats the jawbreaker, a hockey mask jawbreaker, extra damaging, back to the eye rake, and then a groin kick. Jason's pulling out all the cheating that you can think of early going here. Trading shots. And there's Ted going to the knee drop to the leg. But now he's deep in the championship corner there. Each another jawbreaker. This is a bad part of town, especially when both members of Team Terrible are in there firing on all cylinders. Tags out to the Canadian champion. But Terrible Ted easily vanquishing both mere humans. Leg trip, takedown, hip toss, takeover. The wrestling bear, ladies and gentlemen. Now he's got that arm trap choke going. Football charge. Chicago Bears. Football charge. Over 6 minutes now. Seems mostly according to script if you're the champs looking to defend. Big baronial body slam. There's that Bear Gore takedown. The Baron gets an armbar. Submission attempt in there. Tags out to Ted. I mentioned this before. I mean, Team Pearl Harbor hasn't had great success in the past. They work together there. Not great success in the past, but you know, maybe they've grown a lot since then. Since those unfortunate tag team days where they didn't have a lot of success, because they've sure tasted a lot of success since their rivalry that they once had with this Team Terrible. Diving, hockey mask, headbutt, by the way, by Jason. And then Terrible Ted gets on top there with that guillotine choke. Then curtains. So many times for so many challengers. Went for the power bomb, perhaps did Jason, only to have it countered into the backdrop. Backbreaker submission attempt. 9 minutes in, a touch early for a submission. Except that Terrible Ted's involved, so let's not... Again, he's been really working that jawbreaker. That's been a strategy. Pants! Pile driver, however. Your hockey mask isn't going to protect you against that sort of driving impact where your weight's just crashing down on your head. It's not a matter of armor. It's a matter of can your body withstand that compacting force? Can your neck withstand it? And the Baron knows a thing or two about overpowering folks. He's fighting both members of Team Terrible. That's got to catch up with you after a while. He did okay in the early going, but double clothesline. Oh, looks like the Bear was trying to get one of those guillotines in, but scouted perhaps by the Baron. Evades trouble for now, but going forward, what's the plan to overcome this? He's a damn bear. Gore, spear, takedown. Well, we've seen more than once Team Pearl Harbor working together to save each other from harm. That's the minimum you got to do. Ideally, you work together to get some double team moves in there, but at the very minimum, just work together any which way you can. There's that guillotine again. And the Baron didn't attempt to save there. I guess he figures, you know, it's got to be too early. If we're gonna submit at 12 minutes, maybe there's no hope. So you need to work your way out of that. Here it is again. Maybe a little bit of acceptance of the futility was Baron Charles there, thinking if this is what's going to happen, then maybe I should just live to salvage my own health. I don't know. I mean, let's face it, history has shown the Terrible team was always going to be favored there anyway, so I don't know if I blame the Baron for almost kind of like saying, yeah, just submit and let's get out of here. I mean, it would have been pretty spectacular if we had seen an upset there and then we would have guaranteed new champions. But at the end of the day, I'm fine with Team Terrible making it to the final to defend their titles in the final match. That's what we saw last year. Big Titan made it to the final and was able to properly defend his belt. The Team Terrible get the same chance. And who will they face? Semi-final match 2. So first down to the ring will be Team Sharpshooter, coming off of the Blue Hair's revenge against his old partners. I mean, I guess they both got revenge because they both lost in their first run-in with the remaining Jin Dynasty. But they got the match back, the win back, in the first round of the tournament. Can they get to the final? In order to do so, they'd have to go through 2 former Canadian heavyweight champions. Led down by Big Mike, he had a successful first foray into tag action in Big Titan. Also victorious in the first round. If they can be victorious again, Big Titan will make the final of both of our first 2 Canadian tournaments. Big Titan body slam, elbow to the face. Another body slam. So the Titan going to the strength early, the power, drop kick back of the head. Oh, agility on display though, a little early there perhaps to do a more complicated agility-based move against the Sensation. He flips out of that suplex. Leg drop to the face down opponent. Bulldog, old school bulldog in reply by the Sensation. Sensational chop. Arm drag, more old school arm drag kickdown. Doesn't mind putting in some of those classic moves. Flying clothesline. And Big Titan maybe thinking things are starting to get away from me after some early success. He tags out to Mike. Mike comes in there. In fact, Big Mike was the man who ended the Sensation's only reign as heavyweight champion. Now, Team Sharpshooter in there together. Both getting booted down, though. Not sure that these 2 men's passes have crossed. Test of strength won, understandably, by the bigger man. Mike gets that size in motion, but deftly ducked under by Blue Hair. Exchange of strikes, again, understandably. Won by the heavier hitter. Boston Crab, chop. Oh yeah, I was about to say, Blue Hair's going to have to find a way to overcome the superior size of Big Mike, but he does body slam him, so not too undersized. Eats a body slam in return, however. Stomp to the face. Chop, choppity, chop, chop, and kick to the face in reply. And Big Mike should want to make this final perhaps even more than Big Titan does, because remember the singles tournament from last year, Big Mike was unfit to compete. He didn't get to be involved in that tournament. Big Titan pursues Blue Hair, who has tried to escape to the apron, only to be vertical suplexed back into the ring. Now we have a big bear hug, Titan hug, arm breaker. Stomp to the back, elbow to the skull. But he's deep in Sharpshooter territory. Back to that Titan hug. Sensational snap suplex. Titan tags out. Double arm suplex. Stomp to the face while he's down. Some good teamwork there. Big Titan knocked him down. Big Titan set up Mike for some stomps. Rolling. Backsplash. German suplex, but we're in to the turnbuckle for a break. touch early for a pin, maybe. Counter kick. Both members of Sharpshooter in there, but Big Mike seems to want to handle them both. Boots them both into the blue corner. Goes for that spinning back fist, that block knocking back fist. And some agility on display. Flying sidekick. Kick to the side of the head. Snapmare. Try to take the big man off his feet. Get his balance thrown off. Only to eat some power in the corner. Booed as he staggered down. And now more top rope. The big man flying with a rolling splash. Rolling back splash. Yeah, Team Big's looking pretty good, I must say. For an inexperienced team, they're doing quite well for themselves. Reversal on the turnbuckle. Chop, choppity, chop. Titans in there to break it up. Big Mike sets his partner up. At the corner there, take advantage of the vulnerable man. Double arm suplex. Yeah. I mean, it's early. I'm not declaring a winner, but you see that diamond cutter. But I thought that Team Big might be the team that could give Team Terrible a run for their money. And if they're going to realistically try that in the final, you definitely want to be firing on all cylinders here in preparation. Vertical suplex. Drop kick down low, knocks his man down, blue hair. Tag in the sensation. 11 minutes, all 4 men in the ring. Ooh, exploder. That's a good way to set your partner up. Make the opponent vulnerable. Just some brute strength to knock this man down, but eats a kick to the face. Big Mike, too strong, overpowers the vertical suplex attempt, gets the reversal in. A little bit stunned after that elbow. Elbow to the beard. And we'll exchange strikes. The Canadian Sensation's fired up. He better be. I feel like the Team Sharpshooter's well behind in this match. Need to find some momentum changing, complexion changing moves here. Ooh, elbow down low, try to attack the foundation. Almost with that discus. Falcon arrow in the ropes, however. Big Mike trying to time that discus forearm. Elgin bomb crushes his man. But we're deep into Sharpshooter territory. They will need to try that in their own corner. Does Team Big? Big Mike is feeling it. He's feeling that berth in the final. Looking for the crowd to support him. Sees he's 2-on-1 against 2, so he tags off to his partner. Assisted. Diamond cutter. Snap suplex. Team Sharpshooter getting something going now. Some momentum. Much needed. Sleeper hold. 14.5 minutes. We could see a submission at some point soon, I think, maybe. It's not out of the question. Bully tactics into the turnbuckle clothesline. The blue hair is going to cinch in the Phoenix Plex. Big Mike comes in just to say, yeah, we're doing this. Get behind us. Back suplex. Figure 4 leg lock. Big Mike taking no chances. Stomp to the back of the head. Oof, release on the German suplex. We're going to see the Titan death drop. No cover though, center of the ring. Spear, just rips him with that spear. We're on the Sharpshooter side of the ring though. Kick to the side of the head. The big team can't decide on how exactly Where's corpse should be positioned. Just dragging him around face down. 4 men in the ring, turnbuckle action. Look at that combination. Striking, follow, finishing with the discus. Wow. Backflip, German suplex. Spectacular move. Big chopping uppercut to the face, though. Flying elbow, sensational elbow. As we hit 18 minutes. Cross into the big corner. Oof. Turnbuckle, powerbomb. Vicious maneuver. Big Mike's in motion, rips his man with a clothesline. The sensation gets up in a hurry, however. Wow, the gorilla press power slam, but we're in the damn ropes again. What a spectacular finish that would have been. On the press power slam. We're going to see some sensational Superfly. The victory roll. Looks like Titan's going to get in there for the save, though. Although I was suggesting that... oof. Titan Valley Driver.
1, 2, 3.
Whew. Boy, I don't get used to that move. It just looks like he's going to kill somebody. All 4 men in the ring, though, for the finish. Fittingly, good show, boys. Not quite 20 minutes, but a very fulfilling 1950. I got carried away with the excitement, perhaps, but that was what I call the Torture Valley Driver. I like that. 83%. It's a nice little uptick after the previous match was a bit premature. We went down to 71, but 83 is pretty good. Pretty good result on average. I guess we never thought we'd maintain a 90 plus all the way to the end. That would have been great for match evaluation average, but just to be well over 80, that's great. So, I don't know if this was a predictable result because, Alan Hawkins and Blue Hair, they certainly have their experience in tag up action, whether it's working together as a tag team, a two-man team, or at least experience in six tag. They've certainly much more experience in the arena of team wrestling. But I mean, can you overlook the potential of this team, the big team? Titan and Mike, former champions, joining forces to become tag team champions? They will get Team Terrible. It will be Team Terrible versus Team Big. Fitting final. Perhaps the two most menacing teams going into this. I think so. Fittingly that they should reach the final and face each other. All 4 are Canadian. There were plenty of non-Canadians in the tournament, but they've gradually been weeded out. And we have an all-Canadian final. Fittingly for Canada's Tag Team Championship. Tournament final for Canada's Tag Team Championship. So, the defending champions, according to script so far, 2 wins, each against teams that they've handled in the past. They're about to face a team that they've never faced. In fact, the team that's never even teamed before this event. Perhaps the 2 biggest, the 2 biggest men that Team Terrible has been challenged by. 2 former heavyweight champions. Big Mike, Big Titan. Up to this point, they've only been heated rivals over the Canadian Championship. Putting aside their differences, trying to break new ground, I suppose. Reversal on the Irish Whip. Knee to the midsection. Floors the bear briefly. The bear trips down the Titan, goes for that Chicago Bears football charge. Uppercut. Another leg trip takedown. Bear spear. Well, no, that wasn't the bear spear. That was in the football charge. That was more the spear, right? The spear, the gore takedown. There's different ways you can call things, I guess. Bear mare. Ted's customization on the snapmare. Huh. Titan's working the turnbuckle there, throwing the bear in there more than once. And enough of a feeling out process there. Nothing really heavy going on. Tags in Big Mike. Bear hug. But Big Titan's there to make the save. Drop kick back of the head. Well, things are looking okay for the challengers so far. You haven't been dominated. That's good. That's a good start. Now we get Jason the Terrible. So all four men have entered the ring by now, and oh, bear charge to break up that predicament his animal handler was in. So yeah, none of these opponents have faced each other in any capacity. Neither in tag nor singles has either member of Team Terrible faced either member of Team Big. Delayed. Vertical. Suplex. Cranks him down with a clothesline. Yeah, so I guess that's one way to pad the running time on matches that can be brief. These Team Terrible matches do a delayed vertical suplex. Add to the clock. And Jason, working his way out of 2-on-1 trouble. Eye rake. He's going to mess up the war paint of Big Titan. Elbows his man. 2
5
kicks.
minutes gone.
Slap. Trading shots here. Tag. Stomp to the gut. Falling. Face mask. Headbutt. Big Titan. I can tag in Big Mike. I almost got the... Yeah, I did sort of mix up those. Big Mike is getting some bully tactics in there. Bear hug. Bear hug. I'm going to blame me calling Big Mike Big Titan on some inside the house stuff going on that distracted me. But I'm back. This will be the first time in the history of this show that I will have recorded a match in 2 parts. Because I had to stop the recording when I paused. I guess I didn't have to stop the recording, but I can always merge the 2 separate files. Anyway, you don't need to know the technical minutiae, the behind the scenes production of this show, all you really need to know is that Jason the Terrible right now has got the upper hand on Big Titan, including the hockey mask, Jawbreaker, and then yikes, that was a bit low, wasn't it? And now some teamwork. Some big teamwork on the assisted powerbomb, elbow to the hockey mask, body slam. This is what Team Big has to do. Work as a team, another Jawbreaker, work in combination. Because Team Terrible has always been a tough mountain to scale for anybody. Ooh, football charge knocks Big Mike into the corner. He's in the wrong part of town, the terrible town right now. He's in Terrible Town. That's what we call the corner of Team Terrible. Terrible Town. Not a place to spend your weekend or leisure time. Dangerous. Sleeper? I think I've called that generically a chin lock before, but when you got the hand over the top like that, that's classically a sleeper hold. Maybe MMA circles would not call it that. But anyway, neck crank, which I believe is an MMA term. Mixed martial arts, in case I haven't used that in a while, and people are like, what the hell is he talking about? Well, the combination of the Team Big had Terrible Ted backing off into the turnbuckle. So yeah, the big team is starting to get a sense of what Terrible Ted's submission game is like. The power. Dropkick back of the head, elbow back of the head. Big Titan turns the tables, at least temporarily. A lot of T words here.
1, 2.
It's not that common for Ted to go for the pinfall. He's typically a submission guy. Vertical suplex. Out of the ring goes the bear.
2,
Maybe this is a key to Team Big making some
5,
progress in this match. Jason's dominating the outside action though. Body slam by the Big Titan in return. Clothesline. And the bear's getting delayed vertical suplex in the ring. Body slam again outside. Well, some good work being done inside the ring and out. Titan hug. Jason late to try to make the save, but didn't turn out to be necessary. Wild action, all four men. Big Titan will get Mike back in there. Oh, they work together with the kicks. Then the drop kick while Jason's confused, not sure who to face. Okay, good teamwork by the big team. Back elbows. 15 minutes. Boot to the pelvis. Press. Power slam. In the ropes, however. And deep in terrible countries, so it's not like that was ever going to work. Can Big Mike cinch a move like that in? Elgin bomb critical! I was about to say that pin attempt wasn't going to do any good because the bear was going to just jump in and just break it up, but the critical, it's irrelevant. Save not necessary. Big Mike's trademark maneuver, his move, the Elgin Bomb, has won the Tag Team Championship here on Canada Day. The Canada Day Spectacular had a spectacular ending, a spectacular finish. The Elgin Bomb right there in the corner of Team Terrible. The bear can only look on helplessly while his partner got devastated. Match waved off because Jason can't continue. Unreal finish. Especially if you go back in the history. I believe when Big Mike won his first championship, January of year one, wasn't it with the Elgin bomb? We could go back and look. But how symbolic that he wins his first tag team championship using his signature hold. So much here for Big Mike. So much here for both wrestlers. Let's review it briefly. As I said, Big Mike, who got the finish here, he was left out of last year's Canada Day Spectacular, the singles tournament, due to health reasons. He's had a year to think about being a part of this event. He forms a team with his old rival. They make it to the final. Never teamed before this event. To take it all. Defeating the most dominant team in Canadian wrestling. Team Terrible. And let's go back to what I was saying about Big Titan as well. He got to the final last year, defending his singles title, only to lose. He flips the script, so to speak. Now he's the one who gets to the final and dethrones the current champions. He had his dreams shattered in the final last year. He shatters someone else's dreams, or watches his old foe shatter, do the actual physical shattering. And a type of redemption for both wrestlers. Big Mike missed last year's event. Big Titan has lost his title in the most dramatic way in the final. Now they both win titles here. They've won a joint championship together. The big team. What more can you say? I feel like I want to say more, but in case you've heard enough wind out of me, let's go to the making it official. Victory for Team Big. New tag team champions of Canada. I sort of called this from the beginning, saying wouldn't this would be a very interesting way to change the landscape of this tag division. If these two men, the big team, can be fitting rivals for Team Terrible, maybe this will create new excitement in this division, because Team Terrible had been pretty dominant lately. I believe we checked the records lately and they had 7 straight title defenses. We were getting to the point where I was starting to wonder, should we almost retire these titles? Because where's the competition? Maybe we now have competition. Good chance we do, because we do have new tag team champions. One last look at the brackets, I suppose, if you're curious about the red lines to see the path different wrestlers took. Maybe you had a favorite team in there to see how far they got, who they faced. So we finished strong too. We saw the average match evaluation, like the match evaluation was over 90 for that final. Puts the average evaluation up to 88. Well, pretty awesome finish. We had a pretty awesome finish last year too for this Canada Day Spectacular. Version 2, for me, did not disappoint. So here's a price to be paid. I believe we addressed this earlier when we were doing the matchups, when we did the rundown. Eddie Owens, Mr. Stoic, had red body parts. One or more. Him and Kevin Owens, they both had red. And yeah, so this is the price. I put him in here when I wanted him in there. I wanted him to be one of the teams. Price to pay for. See, this is why I strategically rest people when they have red body parts, because this can happen. Or poor condition. So you can save yourself things like this, needing 2 off to recover. Now, to be fair, I would have given Eddie 1 off to recover anyway, because he was probably going to be red at the end of this anyway. So it's really only like 1 extra month that we're losing him. So then I would have rested him anyway. So it's really not so bad that I risked him. Anyway, Big Mike Elgin, won the Canada Tag Team Championship. Great success. So it didn't approach capacity, but the game gave me great success anyway. Thank you. Like I said, we're not used to running this kind of venue, so maybe we're not used to getting this kind of turnout. 15,000 is a lot. Didn't quite get there. Okay. And completely smashing our revenue record as expected, especially with the new TV contract, $300,000 a month. But even without that, we went well over $1 million. We would have been 1.1 million in income even without the new TV deal. So huge new record set, nearly 1.5 million for income. Profit in the middle there of about 1.25 million. So at that rate, if we start profiting 1.25 million per event, then this promotion is going to flourish and going to rise through the rankings of the wrestling world pretty rapidly. So we'll probably leave it here on this high note of look at that monster income and profit. Just a pretty great Canada Day Spectacular version 2. Hope you enjoyed it. What does this mean for the tag team picture going forward? Guess stay tuned.